can live with each other for decades. And one example is my wife, who keeps surprising me and says, "How dare you know this?" Because she was not prepared for something that I did which she didn't like. So human beings are full of surprises. Hamid Mayet was a very exceptional person, extremely self-effacing, extraordinarily quiet, unduly humble, where he could afford not to be humble considering all the valuable work he did, so withdrawn. I don't know whether it was because of the bullying done by Nigar that he had to remain somewhat withdrawn. But Nigar being such a pleasant person, I doubt if she was responsible for that. I suppose as a person grows, you look at the world around you and sometimes you feel that silence and patience and respect for others are better ways to relate to the world than to be always verbal or demonstrated. But reading about Hamid's work and knowing the little that I know has enhanced my respect for him greatly. I was aware of his services to the Theosophical Society of Pakistan, but I was not fully aware of all the specific initiatives that he took to strengthen education in particular, especially for those who are underprivileged, who are out of school, who cannot afford basics like uniforms or textbooks, and going out of his way to mobilize resources for their basic needs and then sustain them. And on the one hand, education as the fundamental shaping factor of a person's life, and on the other, the association with this great cause of the Theosophical Society of Pakistan. And what a philosophy this is, the respect for all faiths, and especially relevant in a country like Pakistan, which is 97% Muslim, and some of us are so busy being Muslim, we want to convert the remaining 3% also to Islam, by force if necessary, God forbid. But how benefited we are by that 3%. It's always worth remembering what Albert Camus, the Nobel Prize winner for literature from France and Algeria, said about democracy. He said democracy is not about representing or protecting the rights of the majority. Democracy is about protecting and projecting the rights of the minorities, the 3% in Pakistan. And the 3% will become particularly cogent because they are not just a supine, inactive, immobilized 3%. I mean, that 3% has produced giants like Javed, who we honor by this great monument being dedicated to his name. The city of Karachi owes so much to him. The Sakhar Barrage owes so much to him. And that 3% has produced Zoroastrians who have followed Mr. Nusirwanji's example. One of them is present with us today, at least one of them.